This year, the Benedictine Confederation that brings together the world's Benedictine monks and nuns congregation is marking its 125 years. The monastic congregations were brought together in a union initiated by Pope Leo XIII in 1893 and later carried out by his successors. The headquarters of the Benedictine Confederation is Sant Anselmo in Rome, the seat of the abbot primate who presides over the confederation. This week has been very special for the Benedictines. Pope Francis granted some 400 representatives of the confederation an audience on Thursday and spoke to them. On Saturday, Vatican Secretary of State Cardinal Pietro Parolin marked the feast of St. Anselm with a mass at Sant Anselmo. To know more about the 125 years of the Benedictine Confederation, we asked Abbot Primate Gregory Polin of the Benedictine Confederation what this means to them.
This week has been a special week for us in that we were given an audience by Pope Francis on Thursday of this week. And we gathered together abbots, abbot presidents, and different organizations within the Benedictine order. We have an organization that works for the support of monasteries in the developing nations, known as the Alliance for International Monasticism. We also have the interreligious dialogue, and it was, again, wonderful to hear, and I can say in my 22 years as an abbot, that every time we've had an audience with the Pope, he's always emphasized the work of ecumenism and interreligious dialogue as an important work for Benedictines.
We asked Abbot Primate Polin about some of the other things that Pope Francis told them.
Well, he talked about the importance of our charism of hospitality, because he said that in the world today, there are so many people that need to be able to find a place where they are welcomed in the person of Christ, which is part of our 1,500-year-old rule of St. Benedict. And there it also provides an opportunity for real encounter with God in the silence, in the prayer, and also in the opportunity to be able to talk to the monks or the nuns or the sisters that are there.
In his talk to the representatives of the Benedictine Confederation, Pope Francis also spoke about one of his favorite topics, discernment.
Yes, and I think his emphasis on discernment there related to the forthcoming synod on the youth, and how it is that we, in our encounter with people at monasteries, can help them in the process of discerning the voice of God in their life, in relation to the church, and in relation to the world that surrounds them.
Looking back at the 125 years of the Benedictine Confederation, the Benedictines of the world are now looking to the future. Abbot Primate Polin had this to say.
Well, there's a lot of things. To just begin with, I think one of the important things is in looking at our past history and its tradition, there's always the opportunity to be able to deepen a sense of what that means. And importantly, how we can serve the church in that way. When we think of the contemplative life, we sometimes think of people being sheltered from the world. Well, in the midst of our contemplative life, we're always serving the church, first of all by our prayer for them, but also by being able to welcome them and to be able to find a place for them. And as I've said many times, I think that's alone one reason why monasteries are very important places in our world today.
That was Abbot Primate Gregory Polin of the Benedictine Confederation. I'm Robin Gomes.